Mic check, life check. With Haley Jensen. Hello and welcome back, and I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm in such a good mood. I've been checking the analytics for the podcast and it is growing, and that makes me so happy. For right now, it feels just like this super small indie podcast, and I know that with all things, everything started small, and so I'm hoping one day I'll be able to look back on this and laugh. But for right now, I absolutely just love if you are here listening, coming along with the journey with me. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you so much. So with the fact that things are growing, I'm trying to get a little bit more mature and organized through this process. With that being said, I always come up with the title of podcasts after I'm done editing and reviewing everything. So normally I would probably tell you the name of the podcast and why, maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, but today's vibe, we're going to do a quick little weekly catch up on all things pop culture, crazy, things that may or may not happen to me. That's kind of the vibe for today. And then as we go into things, today's topic is relearning how to be a girl. Kind of a weird topic, I know, but you'll see what I mean in a second. Let's jump right in. So I always take a couple little notes. I didn't do super well this week, but the few little notes that I had was Cardi B winning and threatening to countersue in her lawsuit case. So basically the very summarized version of the story, if you're not familiar, of rapper Cardi B, the girl, the legend, she was being sued by a girl/woman who I believe was hired as a security guard for when she went to the gynecologist for when she was pregnant. I believe it was like 7 years ago. And you would follow up and say, okay, so were they not on good terms? Like, are they not working with one another? Yes and no. So apparently with celebrities, a lot of the time, their security is kind of like a third party thing. So basically, from what I understood from this case, is that the security guard was hired by Cardi B's team. However, she didn't know it was Cardi B. Fast forward, she gets to the day in assignment and she starts freaking out and she's a fangirl. And yet she's supposed to be the security guard for Cardi B. And Cardi B is going to the gynecologist during the gyno doctor's lunch break. They shut things down, but we're staying for her for privacy. And she gets to the location and the security guard is there to meet with her. And apparently she's only supposed to stay on the first floor of the building. The gyno is probably on the third or so. And she starts taking videos and holding her phone up. And she must have been on the phone and saying, oh my gosh, she's here. It's Cardi B, while filming as well. And so Cardi was saying, what are you doing? I thought you're supposed to be security. And so then she was like, I'm doing what I want to do. Okay, I'm not going to quote the whole case because I don't know. I didn't honestly pay attention to the full thing. This is what I was just getting from the news, a little snippets and whatnot. But from what I understand, like I said, it could be misquoting this, that Cardi went up and the security guard followed her up to the floor, and she was not supposed to. She's supposed to stay on the ground floor and be security. And so then Cardi was a little upset, but then the security guard was getting in Cardi's face, but then the receptionist, because they were on the level of the doctor's office, tried to get in between them, and the security guard was basically kind of like threatening to fight a little bit, but she ended up scratching, I think, the receptionist on her face. But the whole lawsuit was, in fact, for the fact that the security guard was suing Cardi for cutting up her face with one of her nails. And that was this whole thing that she has these long claws, blah, 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 blah. But there was zero photo evidence of this happening. And once again, 7 years ago. And apparently a police report was filed. And during the interrogation, the security guard couldn't even answer what she had written in regards to what the actual injury was. And so she just looked absolutely stupid. And Cardi B was hilarious through all the little clips that I had seen on the internet regarding to how it all went down. One of the funny clips that I had seen was that Cardi B was being asked about the woman's size, and she just said, well, yeah, she's bigger than me. And so then I guess the person interrogating was saying, what do you mean? I mean, by that fact that I was looking at her. There was so many other little funny clips that I can't honestly remember off the top of my head, but overall, fantastic display of maturity through slight humor. Absolutely love Cardi B for that. I can't say I was like a crazy huge fan before, but I absolutely loved the way she carried herself through this trial. And my favorite thing overall was the fact at the very end, she's being interviewed by the news and reporters, and she said, I was nice this round, but I will countersue next time. Because it's always an expectation for these celebrities, because they're already so rich and already so famous, that if they were involved in any sort of lawsuit, like I remember Taylor Swift, because she had, I think it was a sexual assault by a DJ something radio show guy, and she sued for $1 and he sued for a bunch of millions. Let me see. Okay, yes. So Taylor Swift was awarded a symbolic $1 in damages after winning her groping trial against former radio DJ David Mueller in 2017. And this whole lawsuit was a message to women and a statement against sexual assault, and that the whole concept was that the DJ had groped Swift's bare bottom during a photo opportunity. So naturally back then, the whole thing with Taylor Swift is that she's gone through a lot of things in regards to her reputation and the things that she's said, done, whatever, been accused for, whatever. Point being is, back then, the world was very different, I'd say, and she would have been absolutely chastised for even remotely countersuing for money, because then she would have looked like a gold digger or something. I don't know. I know that's not the right term, but anyway, so that's why she had the symbolic dollar, right? And many celebrities have followed suit, including Cardi B, where she didn't countersue back for money because she, one, didn't need it, and two, I don't know. I think all these celebrities think that they will be seen poorly by the public if they demand more money, because they have this assumption that they'll win, whether they're innocent or not, or they have the public favor, whatever. I think the absolute opposite. They should definitely countersue. Like, think the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial. Johnny Depp had filed a complaint of defamation against Amber Heard, claiming $50 million in damages, and Amber Heard filed counterclaims against Johnny Depp, claiming $100 million in damages. Which, to me, that's fantastic. That is celebrity on celebrity crime. Like, I'm here for that. We all kind of knew going into the trial that Depp was probably going to win, but that had nothing to do with women supporting women. That was a whole nother thing. But I think the world learned a lot of things during that trial. And so I think the whole agenda and conversation regarding to countersuing with celebrities has changed since those 2 point in times, because one was 2017, this one, Johnny Depp, was 2022. Anyway, I think that going forward, celebrities should always countersue, and aggressively, because then they can stop these sort of things happening. Because Cardi B's trial was ridiculous, and I felt bad as well because she's a mom, and so she had mentioned that she had missed her kid's first day of school and last day of school. I'm sure they're on some fancy schooling program, but anyway, that's so sad to me. Like, every single day with my toddler, I feel bad, one, if I'm not present and I'm on my phone for too long, or I miss something, or I'm away from him at any moment. Like, I know I sound clingy, but I just love him to death, and I just want to be there for him in all stages of life. And so I just can't imagine being stressed out of your mind going through all this lawsuit stuff, missing not just one, but two kids, maybe more. But that's insane to me. And then the other crazy thing is that she was saying that she was working on an album, and I just don't know how these people do it. Like, it's insane. So props to Miss Cardi B. On topic of the gynecologist, something that I wouldn't imagine would go hand in hand, this week on TikTok, there is quite the controversy with the healthcare employees that worked at a different, very different gynecologist office. And the story goes, how I saw it come across my For You page was that a bunch of these coworkers were taking pictures with all I could describe it as residue, the leftover liquids after patients, aka women, females, would go to the gynecologist, whether they're getting a pap smear, whether they are doing ultrasounds for whatever reasons, and the remaining liquids that come out of a female human body, which is not controllable one way or another. And I would say 9 times out of 10, from my own experience, is usually just the ultrasound gel or whatever. Yeah, it's a little messy. That's just how we have to deal with it in healthcare. That's how we have the machines work, you know? But regardless, as women, when we go into these situations, I mean, unless you have a lot of years of experience under your belt or have been pregnant even, and even then it's uncomfortable. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. And so the fact that these, I guess, employees, they look like students, to be honest, but I guess they're employees, they looked young. And the fact that they were taking pictures of, oh, this woman left this woman left this, of the specific liquids, depending on her type of visit, absolutely ridiculous, absolutely horrendous. And I hope they are all blacklisted from the healthcare field, because I don't care. Like, I have a sense of humor, don't get me wrong, but that is horrible. That makes me so mad. And whether they all end up getting sued or whatever, I don't know. It's just atrocious to me. And I can't believe they even thought for a second, haha, this is funny, we should upload this online to TikTok, we're gonna go viral. Like, that's horrible. And if you're so confused, because I don't think I mentioned, it was, of course, the liquids remaining on the little, it's called a chuck pad, or it's kind of like a dog pee pad kind of thing. It's basically like the disposable kind of tissue covering thing, but it's a little more absorbent. But anyway, too many details. But yeah, overall, just absolutely such a stupid idea. And they all got fired, of course. And this went across the internet quite quickly because, 1, no one can fathom why they would even think to do this. And 2, this is highly personal for all women. It's unthinkable. But moving forward from that atrociousness, but somehow still related to, I would say, liquid running down thighs, enter Sabrina Carpenter. Or should I say her newest album that was released August 29th, this last Friday. Oh my gosh, I am such a fan. This album is incredible. I was very fortunate and lucky to go with my husband to her short and sweet tour in Salt Lake City, Utah. One of the best things of my life. I, believe it or not, am very sheltered when it comes to concerts. I hadn't gone to an actual concert before hers, and we'd happen to get tickets through my husband, and so that was awesome for one, and I think it was his first concert too, so that was definitely a little sweet experience for the two of us to share. It was phenomenal. I've been a fan ever since, and I was so excited for this album to come out, and it knocked the socks off. Like, it was incredible. I cannot recommend it enough if you haven't gone and listened to it. Keep in mind the little caveat. She is a little sexual girl. Not a little girl, she's a woman, but her context is very spicy if you are not familiar. And I love that. It's unfortunate, however, for me, because I am in a very happy marriage. And her album, the context is all very women empowerment, breakup, watch out, I'm gonna get you kind of thing. And it is so wonderful to listen to work out to. It is a killer gym playlist. And I have a love-hate relationship with listening to these types of albums because I so desperately want to be pissed at a man, but not at my husband because I love him. And so Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I guess I did have a past of dating many guys, and so it works because some of them just get plopped in my head during the soundtrack, and I can jam out to that. But when first listening to the album, when it came out Friday morning, my husband was getting ready for work, and so I happened to see the notification that it had dropped, and I was so excited. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, it is here!" And I told him, and so we started listening to it together, and it was hilarious to watch him get ready because we had listened to specific songs, and if you know, you know, if you listen, and there's some very eye-opening, jaw-dropping lyrics, and so he'd just like whip his head and look at me, and I'm like, I don't know, she's on something, she's cooking, and I love it, and I love listening to it multiple times because every single time you get a metaphor that you didn't hear before, and a little innuendo. And I think she's an excellent lyricist. And I understand she may not be everyone's taste. Some people think that she is too sexual or has the same tone and agenda with these last two albums, I'd say. Because I know a lot of people have complained that she's very much changed her sound. And I think that is totally okay. I think any artist is able to do that. And especially because these are real life events that she's going through, and the way that she is experiencing them, of course, is going to be different as she ages and matures. And I'm here for it. And I know maybe my opinion will change, and maybe her next album I won't like as much. And that's okay. It's not, I mean, it's not my thing. It's her thing. And so overall, 10 out of 10, the whole context of Liquid Dinner Thighs. It's her second song on the track. You have to go listen to it, and you can deep dive your own research. But the song Tears Down My Thighs, or it's just called Tears, the music video for it is excellent. It is a playoff of the Rocky Horror show. And when I first watched it and then showed my husband, he was a little confused and floored and concerned, but I love it. I think that Sabrina Carpenter is also bringing back music videos to an extent. She is so creative, and I don't know, she just is able to be such a performer in a way that I feel like a lot of artists aren't. Like she was even on Broadway, of course, and so she has so much acting ability, and I really respect the crap out of her for that. So that was this week's music listening on repeat. Before, it's been Demon Hunters, and they still hold a place in my heart, but it has been definitely dedicated to Miss Sabrina Carpenter this past week. That's been our music taste, but as for our TV taste, I say we, I mean me, I have not had a ton of opportunity to keep up on watching the latest and greatest TV shows because, as I've mentioned 50 times before, my schedule does not allow it. I value my sleep, and so I put my kid to bed and I go to bed an hour later. So I am not that gal that stays up to watch TV shows as my me time, because if I don't get my sleep, I will be more horrible to be around for everyone, including myself. And so that is me being true to myself, is by getting my sleep. And then, of course, as you are aware, I wake up early to go to the gym. Anyway, with that being said, during the day when my kid naps or when I'm doing dishes, there are very specific little bits of time that I'm able to watch my shows. So with that, I have been prioritizing the shows that people have been raving about. So I started finishing watching the Wednesday season 2 this past week. I've really enjoyed it. I was talking about the show earlier today with a friend, and because she had never seen any of the first season either. And so I was saying that I respected the way that they did the season 2 so far. I haven't finished it yet, so no spoilers. But that they usually, with a lot of like fantasy shows like Wednesday, I have seen that they always kind of spiral darker and weirder, like think Riverdale. But so far, I think they've done really good with keeping the plot interesting, not creating any too many like weird scenarios for Wednesday herself. I don't know. But overall, I've enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I really enjoyed the first season, and so far I really like the second. I unfortunately am kind of a hopeless romantic, as well as I'm starting to get into smut now, reading, which is exciting, but I am still, because I don't know the ending, rooting for Wednesday and Tyler, the love interest guy. But yeah, we'll see. I don't know if it'll work out. I don't think it'll work out, but we'll see. I'm always good for a hot, spicy couple. The other show that everyone's been raving about is The Summer I Turned Pretty. Once again, I think there was a second season. Am I going crazy? I don't know. I remember when they first came out the first season. I think they were in the third season because I did not watch it that first summer or whatever. And then the next year I watched both seasons, and then I was watching it live. Are they on the fourth season? Okay, I gotta check. No, my friends, Haley is crazy. They are just on the third season. But I have heard a lot of people talking about it. But the problem is I'm too wrapped up in the timeline of watching my shows in order, aka finishing Wednesday first. So I have serious FOMO from all the people that I've heard chatting or in group chats about it. I need to prioritize watching TV apparently. But the problem is with my gym routine that I've kind of adopted lately. In the past, I would have a lot of time, and I'm talking pre-babies here, to walk on a treadmill for a solid amount of time, like 45 minutes for an episode, But I don't have that kind of time now. That walking time is usually during the day with a stroller. And as much as I'd like to put my phone in front of my kid's face and have him watch me watch a screen, I'm not going to do that because that would break my heart and probably his heart a little bit too. And that's not the vibe. I very much enjoy walking outside and being in nature and touching pavement, not grass, but pavement, cement. But yeah, I would like to get caught up on that, and I'll keep updated. Hopefully I'll do that this week. We'll see. Oh wait, real quick. I am very much Team Conrad. Sorry, Jeremiah is like a little whiny boy. I haven't even watched this season. I know that's part of the plot, so I don't really need to watch that to know that, but I've always been Team Conrad, but he is very much my type. On paper, off paper. Hashtag my husband is probably a cousin to him in a way. Not really. Not like a physical cousin. I'm talking about looks here. But yeah, definitely my type on paper. Definitely the whole Joe Burrow thing, 10 out of 10. Love it. So as for my weekly little catch up from this week, I did go and do a couple things that I usually don't do, I'd say week to week. Keep in mind, I'm stay at home with my toddler Sunday through Friday. I work on Saturday mornings. That's about it. One of the things that my toddler and I did was we were invited with some neighborhood moms to go to the Thanksgiving Point, which is a learning museum-ish place with a bunch of different, I think, kind of sectors. One of them being the butterfly biosphere, which of course is a butterfly emporium or whatever you want to call it. And it's really cool for one. Like the butterflies themselves are very, very neato burrito. But my favorite thing is they have billions of plants, all the plants of my dreams. And it's in this huge dome, and it's very humid in there, of course. It's like ideal for the plants and the butterflies, I'm sure. And I had been there once before, like a year ago, February. And so anyway, one of these moms had like a guest buddy pass. And so normally it's kind of expensive for just kind of all the Thanksgiving Point stuff. But so I got it for free. So I love her. Thank you for that. Chelsea. Anyway, so we went, and my little guy was a lot younger when we had gone last time. But this time he was so clocked in and was loving the butterflies. And yeah, it was a really fun experience, and the butterflies are gorgeous. And one of the fun facts about this specific spot in Utah is you can actually touch and hold the butterflies, and a lot of them, they'll like be chilling on the ground, so you can kind of go up and scoop your finger under them, and they'll like naturally step onto it, and just like it's very a picturesque moment. But fun fact is, I think Utah, this one place in Utah in the entire, I doubt it's the world, but at least the United States, that you can actually touch the butterflies, because a lot of places will have these butterfly emporium looking things, but you can't touch the butterflies. So I don't know why Utah is special. I have no idea. I can Google it real quick just for funsies. So I tried Googling it. It really doesn't say. It just says you can touch them. And yeah, it doesn't say why that one specific you can versus other places you can't. So fun fact, I don't know. But overall, like I said, my little guy loved butterflies. I enjoyed them too, but I was obsessed with the plants. I remember last time I went, I was so enamored. And like, so this time, of course, I knew what I was getting into with being able to see all these awesome plants. And since then, I have become even more of a plant fanatic. So I was still very excited. But the most amazing thing, and I'll have to put some pictures on a carousel or something. I really need to do that. I say that I'll do it and I never do it. I'm going to do it this time. I have to. But they have these massive fiddly fig trees. They are not plants, they are trees. And oh my gosh, it makes me so jealous for my little fiddly fig at home. I initially got it from Costco like a year or two ago. And the first year it was not doing hot, / I was a plant almost killer because leaves were dropping. It was just brown and crusty. Yeah, it was not good. Anyway, so then I ended up ripping off a bunch of the lower leaves because I'm just like, well, why would I keep them? Because they are just draining life from this plant anyway. Fast forward, Google did a little bit more research, and the poor plant was pretty bare because I had ripped off a lot of the bottom leaves. And so then I have been babying the crap out of it. But then fast forward, it has fought off like 2 rounds of spider mites, but finally it is in a good spot and pushing out new leaves like every week and a half or 2. And I love her. I need to come up with a good name. Francine. I feel like it needs to be an F for a fiddly fig. Francine the fiddly fig. I don't know if I like that. Frankie? Frankie's cute. Maybe Frankie. Okay, I'm vibing with Frankie. On the other end of the spectrum, I am still apparently a plant killer. My heart is broken. It is broken into a million pieces because those trees that I talked about, I think on the first, second, third episode, I don't know, of the podcast that we bought and I was stressed about, yeah, 2 of them were dying. And unfortunately, there's really not much you can do because there's 5 total. And I have treated them all the same. I have loved them all the same. I have no favorite siblings or children. They're all equal in my eyes, but 2 of them have decided to die and do not have green leaves and are broken looking. And yeah, really sad about that because they're all like $300 plus each. So that really sucks. The nursery that we got them from, they give you a 1-year warranty for 50% back, which I think is really dumb because I feel like they should just give a 100% guarantee because regardless, they're gonna have trees that die at their nursery. Like they're not losing all that much money. I don't know, it's a scheme, I'm sure, but really bummed about that. They're ginormous. They're still in the ground. So now I'm trying to figure out if we should rip out the old trees now and try to plant new ones before fall, because that's kind of our last chance for them to grow, obviously before they go dormant for the winter, or we wait till spring for some miraculous miracle to see if they pull through. I don't think that they will. But I am also not a tree expert, so maybe I should reach out and talk to them. I don't know. I am very torn on what to do. I think they are dead, but we shall see. I don't know how it will go, but I will update you later, I'm sure. So the other exciting thing, at least I think is exciting thing that was announced this week was the Dancing with the Stars cast list. We had a sprinkling, like 3 or 4 different either announced or guests or hints of the celebrities that were going to be on the show. And of course, I think one of the most unique things about Dancing with the Stars is that even the pros are announced because they don't have a guaranteed position on this show unless they're hired. For example, I believe this season Sasha is not going to be on the show, which I don't know what he did that landed him in the doghouse because they ended up hiring, I think it's Jan who was the backup dancer from the Taylor Swift Eras tour, who, oh my gosh, it was so funny on an interview with him, which yes, he's very hot, but his voice was not what I was expecting when they interviewed him. I was like, oh my goodness, that was not the voice I thought that came out of that body. So that was kind of unique. But
overall, they announced the full Dancing with the Stars cast list for season 34. There is some that I did recognize, of course. There was some that I did not recognize. And kind of the ongoing joke is that it's not Dancing with the Stars, but dancing with the people that you think that you might know from something. Because, yeah, so some of them are stars, but I will talk about a couple of them. So, of course, they have the two from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, Whitney and Jen. I think it's kind of dumb that they had two, but at the same time, I understand that it's a total platform game of Disney Plus versus Hulu, whatever. They're all promoting each other, and hence why they have two. It's not unheard of. They've, had the Heidi D'Amelio for the D'Amelio show, once again, Hulu. So, not uncommon. I think it's dumb, but that's my own personal opinion. Out of the two, I don't know. I have no idea who's going to be the better dancer. Obviously, they both have very different dancing styles, and neither of them very professional. But it did come out that Whitney did, I believe, major or do her degree in dance or something like that for college. So we'll see if that helped, or training from the past. I don't know. I am very intrigued how they end up. A lot of people think that Whitney's going to go and win because she was paired with Mark Ballas, which of course he is fantastic. So I would lean that direction too. Jen was paired with that Jan, so it's Jen and Jan. And the whole controversy there is that Jan is very hot. And so the whole thing that Jen's husband from the show, who of course had the issues with the Chippendales and pretty protective of her overall. I believe he's gone through a lot of growth, so I'm not trying to attack him too much here, but that he is going to have to deal with that. I don't think that it will be an issue, but especially because this Jan, is he gay? I don't know. We'll see. Let me Google real quick. And once again, jumping back to the crumble cookie CEO thing, it doesn't matter. We're not identified for him. I'm just curious if it's out there. No, I don't think it is, but there's a couple, I guess, little articles saying that he is straight. But overall, he knows what he's doing. But yeah, I think he will be a strong contender. I don't know his knowledge regarding ballroom and experience. I'm assuming he has some, or else he wouldn't be on the show. But how good, as well as that, I believe that he will be choreographing. And so I think I'm really intrigued, and I'm curious how the Taylor Swift part of his background will play into dancing and songs and stuff. So that'll be really interesting to watch. I am actually very excited for this season. I'm always excited, but I'm very excited for this season. And going forward, so the next being Hilaria Baldwin, who apparently her controversy as I Google it is that she faked her Spanish heritage and accent for years. And so that's interesting. Sounds like a lot of work. I remember when the announcement came out for the cast that people were not happy about her. And I think it's funny as well because the other part of the conversation was saying, because she was paired with Gleb, that this was his punishment from all his controversy from the Brooks Nader situation and messiness of the past season. So that, I guess, is his punishment, and that just because she's older, but I believe she does have ballroom experience herself. So I wouldn't count them out yet, especially because Gleb seems pretty, I'd say, confidently butthurt. So I think that he will definitely go the distance with trying to win this thing any way he can. Like, I don't think he'll throw it at all. As for going forward, Jordan Chiles with Ezra, I'm actually very excited because Ezra, of course, is with Riley's brought love and life to Dancing with the Stars and brought a lot of people to watch it. I watched it before Ezra, before his time, but I'm very excited for this pairing because she obviously is very talented, athletic, musical ability, dancing's there, all the above. And so I think that they will make it very far, as well as that he definitely deserved a good partner after Delphi not giving a crap. But of course, he's hilarious and he'll carry no matter what. So very excited to see that pairing. Baron Davis, I honestly don't know much about. He's an NBA All-Star, and is paired with Brit. Part of the conversation as well is when regarding Brit and Emma always getting paired with either old / not capable people of winning. And I remember recently reading in the comment section where Emma had replied and said, because people have assumed that they're always paired with these old timies or people that need extra love and comfort because they're loving people themselves and they can handle it and not stress out about it, as well as that Emma was in charge of the pro tour. And so she actually commented in a TikTok section and said, yeah, there's no correlation with that. So not sure why that rumor is going around. So that was interesting because I had believed that rumor for like years that was it. And so that's very interesting. I would imagine that, yes, it's because they are loving people, but apparently, yeah, the pro tour thing has nothing to do with it, which I found was very interesting. The Alex Earl pairing is with Val, which I think that's very fitting because obviously Val is happily married. And so that will not be an issue whatsoever. And I think that if Alex was paired with anyone else that was single, like especially like Gleb or something, then that would be messy. And so I definitely think that's a good pairing. She apparently had dance classes growing up, and so people are very concerned that she will have an advantage there. I think they're all on very different playing fields, all the celebrities, so I don't think it matters, honestly, at this point. It'll just be how she does in the ballroom. And yeah, so I'll be very interested because obviously I've only seen what everyone else has seen from her before. I've never seen if she can dance. Like maybe she's excellent, maybe she's awful. We'll see. But I think it'll be a good pairing. Val's a sweetheart, so I think they'll have very good, at least, interviews and backstage filming and stuff like that. I think it'll be funny. As for Miss Daniela Karagrash, I mentioned once that she was my favorite girl celebrity crush, lesbian lover. Not really, she's not my lesbian lover, but I would go potentially, I would have feelings for her as a female that liked females, but potentially. She is just gorgeous for one. She is so talented, and those are like the two things that going together is an incredible match. Anyway, that's enough of that. I'm just word vomiting now. But she is paired with Dylan Efron, Zac Efron's brother. He was on Traitors. Did I watch it? No. Did I mean to watch it? Yes. It's on my list of to-dos. But I don't know much about Dylan Efron. I've seen a couple TikToks from him, but I think they're going to be a pretty good couple. It reminds me of when Danielle was paired with Jason Mraz, maybe because they look similar as well. But I'm hoping that they are unstoppable. I love Daniela's choreography. She kills it every single time. So we will see. And I'm sure we'll get some cameos from Zac Efron, or he'll show up to a rehearsal or something. But I saw a really funny comment about somebody saying the inevitable fact that Dylan will have to dance to a Bet on It or another High School Musical song, which I would guarantee that happens on Disney night because, Disney. So as for Corey Feldman, I don't know much about him. I know he's from The Goonies, which I did not watch, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I did not watch. So I know that other people are probably familiar, but he is paired with Jenna Johnson. He looks like a cute guy, like friendly, happy, energetic guy. So I think he'll be a very entertaining watch. I don't know about his dance experience. Who knows? He may shock the world. And I think it'll be really interesting. All right. So now we have Danielle, is it Fishel? She is Miss Topanga? Yes, Miss Topanga from Boy Meets World, which I did not watch. I did not know who that is. The only thing I ever knew about her was I'd seen little clips from Boy Meets World that people were referencing on TikTok. That's all I know. As well as I met a girl in real life named Topanga, and she explained it to me when I met her because I was like, oh, that's a unique name. And that was before I even put any of it together. So fun fact. I am clueless once again of shows that I probably should know about. I once again don't know if she's a good dancer or not, so we shall see. I think she has a lot of vibrant personality, so I think that'll come across well based on what I've seen of little interviews. Okay, so Elaine Hendricks, who is known as the Meredith Blake from The Parent Trap, which ironically we just watched that, my toddler and I, the other day. And I hadn't watched it except for previous, probably like a year ago or so, for the very first time. And that was always a quoted recognizable soundtrack from all over TikTok. And so I finally got around to watching it, and it was very cute. I really like it. It's a nice comfort movie, and it makes me mad that I didn't discover / watch it sooner. But she is fabulous. I love her. I love her vibe in The Parent Trap. She is such a respectable, like, bougie villain. And so I can't wait to see how she does, and guaranteed she will dance to that Parent Trap theme song that we all know and love. And so, in the ballroom. So, because I thought it is Disney, right? I'm not crazy. Maybe it's not. Anyway, but she is paired with Alan, and he is a sweetheart too. I think that he will make sure that they look really good. He works hard on all of his stuff. Okay, Scott Hoying, is it? From Pentatonics is paired with Riley. I actually really like this pairing. I know a lot of people were really wanting Riley to be paired with Robert Irwin because of the young love, whatever, but she has a boyfriend who plays football or something, and I say or something, I totally know that, but I don't remember what his name is right now. Anyway, I think it's an excellent thing to not have a romance this time around, and there's no way, because he's gay. So that will be, I think, because of his work ethic, the two of them, they're going to be a really good pair, and because she's able to wear heels and he's a little taller, I think that's going to be like a good kind of tall, because I think what's his face that we all hated / loved, I forgot. Harry Jazzy was like too tall. I don't know, maybe they're the same height, but based on this photo, I think they are a good height. Obviously, I'm looking at a photo. Anyway, I think that it will be really fun to listen to the music that they dance to, because obviously it's going to be Pentatonics. Maybe we'll get a live singing. I don't know. Well, I don't know how that will work if he's dancing, but I think it'll be good. As for Robert Irwin, he got paired with Miss Whitney Carson, and I think, I don't know, I don't see Robert being that crazy of a dancer. Like, yeah, he's got the abs and he's fit, but I don't see him being a insane good dancer. I think Whitney's gonna have to work hard with him on that. I could be totally lying about all this and totally incorrect, but we shall see. As for going forward, Brandon Armstrong is paired with Lauren Jorigua. I don't know. She was part of Fifth Harmony, which, to be honest, I am familiar with some of their songs, but I do not know much more past that. As for, I already talked about Whitney Levitt and Mark Ballas. I think they're going to go really far. Andy Richter. He is a actor, comedian, and yeah. So he is paired with Emma Slater. And that, once again, is the more fuddy-duddy. But he looks like he has a lot of good energy, so I don't know. I don't think there's any, like, total duds, like, oh gosh, they're going to be out, like, old man kind of thing. I mean, there's kind of one, but he looks like he has a lot of energy, so that's the Dancing with the Stars update. I am so excited, and I have to wait, sadly, until September 16th. So we still have 2 weeks, week and a half. But once we do watch that, I will let you know how that goes. All right, so based on the fact that I talked a lot longer than I thought I would on just recap stuff, let's get into today's topic. So, becoming a girl again. What does that mean? Well, to put it lightly, I have struggled a little bit since, I would say, even getting married. I dropped a very much bit into the comfort of being married. I stopped trying as hard with makeup. I stopped trying as hard with wearing, I don't know, bras day to day. Not in public, but like around the house and stuff. And I don't know what kind of inspired me. I think it was just maybe this specific year, the things I see on TikTok, whatever. The fact that I'm getting older, I have been wanting to try it a little harder lately with being a little prettier, not for my husband, but for myself, but also for my husband a little bit, because, you know, he did date and marry a cute girl, and the sloth / raccoon living in his garage look that I was kind of sporting of lateness is maybe not totally the thing that's the most appealing. So I've been trying a little harder for me and the fact that I am now trying to do content creation more seriously. So it all goes in hand. But as for my timeline of all things girlness, for a huge part of it, of course, was becoming pregnant. Obviously, early stages of pregnancy, not a ton of excuses, except that you were very exhausted. So naturally, you don't really want to go the extra mile to be more attractive, and you feel like crap. And some scenarios, of course, throwing up. So that's a little understandable, but then as you get more and more pregnant, like the more things go out the window. And I can't speak that for everyone. That was my experience. I was a tomboy growing up through and through. And so the being pregnant even lowers that standard even more. And I feel bad looking back. I was very pregnant in the face. I was very chonky and round. And I don't love looking at those pictures. However, I am now very much past postpartum and I'm done breastfeeding. It's been probably over a month or so. And I feel like now I am slowly starting to reach a time of normalcy and normalness and things feeling back in the direction of how it should be. And something I haven't felt since before I was pregnant, which feels like an eternity because my kid is like almost 1.5. Not to mention the months of being pregnant. So love that for me. I am trying to figure it all out. And I mean that sincerely because only recently I curled my hair with a curling iron for the first time since before I was pregnant, or maybe once when I was pregnant. And that's one thing. Okay, fast forward. After, when I was getting off breastfeeding, I wore a real bra for the first time. Hadn't worn one of those in a hot minute since postpartum or having my child. So that was exciting too. I'm trying to think of all the other things. I hadn't worn mascara, I'd say, for a year. And I mean that. Maybe there was a one-off event or something that I did, but I very much did not wear makeup for about a year. And I told myself, I look fine. I look great. If I was feeling a little spicy, I would curl my eyelashes a little bit. There was a couple times that I used the men's beard and dye kit, which I've used to dye my eyebrows for a while now. I learned it off TikTok years ago. But I tried once doing my eyelashes and tinting them because the tips of my eyelashes are like light colored, like almost blonde, which makes no sense because I'm a brunette through and through. But I did that. I do not recommend that. 1, it says not to on the box. 2, don't do it. Anyway, point being, I did it and I did it once before. Didn't have any crazy issues. I remember it burning my eyes a little bit. The second time I did it, my eye twitched for like 2 or 3 weeks after because I had gotten it a little bit in my eye and it burned. And so then I was scared because I thought I was going to go blind or something horrible happening. I do not recommend it. It is not that deep. Just put on mascara because I was so concerned. Every time my eye would twitch, I would be like, oh my gosh, I screwed up so bad just because I wanted slightly darker eyelashes. So don't recommend that. In regards to my eyelash experience. So as a child, as a fetus, as a girl going through high school into college, before I touch any lash products, extensions, whatever, I had normal eyelashes. I had nice, long to average, curled eyelashes. Fast forward, the world blew up with this whole eyelash extension thing in about, let's see what year it was. Probably 2019, 2020, I don't know. I don't remember what year. Maybe it was 2018. But I'm trying to think of like the age for college for me. But anyway, so fast forward, I was going to get married and I had a friend of a friend who did eyelashes. And so I went to her and she did my lash extensions. And that was and I wanted to get them a couple of months prior to me getting married because I wanted to know, 1, if I liked them, 2, had to kind of do the troubleshooting and figuring out what worked, what didn't, what length, yada, thickness. And so fast forward, I did have lash extensions on my wedding day. Do I regret them? No, I think they looked very natural, good, great. And so that was great. Fast forward, I kept up with the lash extensions for a hot minute, like probably another year or so. And so then eventually I got sick of them. I really like the ability to rub my eyes, and you can't do that with lash extensions. And so I ended up kind of not texting my lash girl back pretty much, and eventually letting them all fall out, and then kind of scrubbing off / ripping out the last couple. And when I tell you, it is the most depressing thing. If you've experienced it, you know. If you haven't experienced, I'll just let you know. You are a naked mole rat in the lash department. Your lashes are so short. They're only a couple like millimeters long. They're so short, stubby. You can't even see them. They're so ripped out because of the torture you have put them through with lash extensions. Even if you go to the best lash extension girl, and I know I will have people saying, oh my gosh, mine would never ripped out. Okay, cool. Good for you. But 9 out of 10 people that I've talked to, this happens. So your lashes just get trashed, and they're so short and stubby, and you cry and you say, well, I should go get lash extensions because these are so sad. And even if I put on mascara, it will not fix the problem because they are only 2 millimeters short or long. So at that point in the time of your, I guess, emotional journey, you are now looking for lash serums to grow your eyelashes as soon as possible. I had some old one, like one old one kicking around. I don't know if it was the Babe Lash one. Now it's called Babe Original, but I think that or the Tease and Honor one, I think was around that time. But overall, it doesn't grow as fast as you need them to or want them to, but you got to deal with it. So part of the gig. Fast forward months later, whatever. I did mascara for a little bit. This was when we were married and first year of the pandemic, 2021, I think, around that time. And so then I kind of started to give up around this time and be like, all right, whatever, I will just leave my lashes alone. So then I just stopped putting on mascara altogether. Not a very attractive time period. You know what wasn't very attractive? Me getting my hair dyed jet black from a brunette. It was not the move, on top of the fact that my husband and I were very happy having gotten married and during a pandemic together. We both gained weight. So I was eyelashed, makeupless, fat, and had a dark hair color that did not suit me. It was a very ugly time period, and I do not have many photos on the internet regarding this time period. And thank goodness it was during a pandemic because not a lot of people saw me / we were out and about. So it worked out pretty well. And overall, though, very frustrating. Fast forward, I lost some of the weight. Yay, as gyms and things opened up and we stopped eating as much ice cream. And then we took our health a little more seriously, but I still didn't wear a lot of makeup or anything because I just was not a fan. I hate the feeling of it. I hate wearing any sort of concealer or foundation that will rub off on my husband's shirt when I hug him. I just don't like to have to worry about that. I like to go to bed without having to aggressively wash my face. Like if I've recently showered, that's good enough for me. Like I don't need to wash my face before bed. And it's a lot more convenient. But sadly, a lot of people do need makeup to look nice and pretty. And I do live in Utah, so it's a little trickier to live here because everyone has to look drop dead gorgeous at every moment in time, including the gym, which I've never done that. I never will wear makeup to the gym. That's just insane. I've briefly talked about that before on the gym episode, but I will never be that person. But so fast forward, I've complained a lot to my husband, poor guy, over the years, and he knows every bit of the journey. And he is a little sweetheart because all the time he's like, well, sweetheart, do you want to get lash extensions again? You can get them. I totally support you. And I'm like, no, I don't, because 1, they're expensive, and 2, they rip out my eyelashes, and 3, I want to rub my eyes, and 4, they're not even like the trend anymore to get them. and I'm talking about this as a conversation from like a week or 2 ago. So in response to the conversation, I'm always like, I just need to be a big girl. I need to put on mascara and curl my eyelashes like every other girl does. Okay. So this is when the story gets kind of fun. So that conversation obviously happened like a week ago. But something that I did do about, I'd say a year ago, because I remember I had my baby and I'd remembered seeing on TikTok some girls talking about lash clusters. And so they were saying how easy it was and how wonderful it was, blah, 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 how your lashes are so much healthier than lash extensions. And I'm like, you know what? Bet. Let's give it a try. So I get the stuff for it. It, of course, was the Falscara starter pack that you get at Walmart. And I did it either once or twice. I think it was twice. And the first time was awful. I hated them. They were not good. The second time, they were a little bit better. Okay. Fast forward. So then I had seen another TikTok back then about if you want your Falscara or whatever lashes to last super long and become very good quality, to get this lash overnighter, I don't know, glue stuff that is made by the Falscara company as well. And I was like, okay, cool, bet, yeah, this will solve my problems. So I get it, but then I don't know, the timeline didn't work out or timing of it all because I was burnt out from trying to do these lash extensions at the time. And so I had bought this overnighter extra liquid stuff, but I didn't end up even trying to use it because I was just burnt out at the time or stressed or something was going on. And so it was brand new, unopened in a box by my makeup stuff that I don't use. So fast forward to now, aka a week ago, where I'm having this conversation, like annoyed because I want to be prettier, you know, by just normal standards, not anything crazy. And talking about all this, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try lash extensions again. And I ordered the lashes off of Amazon because I was gonna try a different brand. And so I get them, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have that lash glue overnighter stuff that I bought, and it's brand new, ready to go. How awesome, because this one's going to work so much better than the other glue that I was told that is just kind of the base one. And so fast forward about a week ago, I get the lashes, I use that super overnighter glue, and then the other sealant that the original bond and sealant combo pack thing comes with, and I start to apply the lashes, and they are falling off, and they are not doing what I want them to do. And eventually, somehow, some way, I get them to stay on my lashes, and they start to fall off like literally the next day or 2 days later. And I'm like, this is so dumb. I swear, this is worse than I did it before. Like, why is this so bad? And so fast forward, I'm like, I think I put the lashes themselves way too low down, like almost on my waterline pretty much, which you're not supposed to do. But it's a learning curve as always. And so I screwed up the first time. I kept them on, I think it was for a weekend. And then I put them on I took them off like on Sunday night and showered or whatever. And then Monday morning, I'm like, okay, let me try again. Let me rework my technique. And so I use that overnighter stuff again as the glue. And once again, struggling the crap, dropping some swear words, being very frustrated, and just trying to make the best of a better improvement of my method of applying them. And so things are not working out well. I'm so frustrated. And once again, I get the lashes on somehow with the sealant, and I clamp them on, and I wear them for like 2-3 days, and then they're falling off. So frustrated. So then enter today. Enter today where Haley's an idiot, and she is researching and saying there has to be a better way. All these women out there are loving lash clusters, and I am going to actually die because I cannot get these to save my life. So I'm researching and saying, what technique do I need to use this lash overnighter glue stuff To which I then get sent to the website of the overnighter. And it says, after you use your bond and seal, then you apply the lash overnighter on top. I am an idiot. I've been using this overnighter as a ultra glue because that's what I thought it was. Did I read the instructions on the box? No. Did I listen to some random girls on TikTok saying that it was the ultimate adhesive and thinking that it was naturally a better glue? Yes. And that, my friends, is this week's lesson on read the box, read the instructions, because your girl was trying to use this weird liquid as a glue that was not meant to be a glue and somehow got the lashes to stay for like 3 days. I don't know. Anyway, it was ridiculous, atrocious. And today, as I record this, I had done my lashes right before the correct way with the bond, the seal, and then the overnighter adhesive. And they went on so much easier. They went on so easily. And I just wanted, if anyone has also gone through this, I feel you. And if you are interested in lash clusters, a word of wisdom, don't use the overnighter as the glue. Because I feel so stupid. And I told my husband once I realized this when he got home from work today. And he's so cute and supportive. I love him to death. He's just like, it's okay. We all make mistakes. Like, it's fine. I'm like, no, like, because I was crashing out literally with trying to put on these lashes the 2 different times with the overnighter. Yep, your girl's an idiot, but it's fine. We're cool. We're happy. I did put on the lashes and I am wearing some pretty heavy set ones, which is okay. I'm telling myself it's okay because they are very thick, like a little too thick, but I am just rocking it. And that is this week's life lesson of learning how to be a girl again, because I am now crossing off all these things that I haven't done for years, like curling my hair with a actual curling iron and versus like heatless curls and stuff that I've been trying to use and being with the times and all that. But I weirdly have gotten good at it, I'd say, pretty good with it. We'll see. My biggest learning curve right now is trying to figure out the products to put in my hair so that the curls stay, because I feel like I'm just putting an excessive amount of product. And then my other thing is that I try to be very cost efficient, and I have all these old products laying around that are very much expired, I'm sure, through the years, but I still have enough product in them and I still want to use them and not be wasteful, but guaranteed they are not performing to the best of their ability because they're expired. So that's my other issue, but you know, you can't win them all. So we're working with what we got. I got pretty lashes. I curled my hair today. I did not put on the rest of my makeup because I was not going anywhere else, but tomorrow we will do that because she's got to go to work because it's Saturday morning. So happy to have that on the horizon for me. We'll see how these lashes go. I will report back. I could already feel that they're 10 times better than they were though. When, you follow the directions. Love that. Well, friends, we flew through this topic very quickly and shortly in this episode because I ran out of time, and that's okay. But we'll do another episode soon. So please, if you will, hit that follow button, subscribe. If you want to jump over to YouTube right now or TikTok and hit subscribe, follow, I would appreciate it so much. If you can rate the podcast, no one does it. So I'd appreciate it if someone out there would do it. And I'll love you forever. But it's been fun to have a good little lighthearted episode today. And yeah, feel free to DM me on Instagram if you want to talk. I'm always down to talk to people, strangers online, the safe way. And yeah, besides that, I hope you have a great rest of your day, week, and hopefully things will work out a little bit better than they did for me when I was applying the wrong product with eyelash extensions. Love that for me. Love that for you. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.